Hi all, it's me, Tania, Cottage Stitcher here on FlossTube as well as on Instagram. I'd just like to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy lives to come and watch what I've got to show you, and I hope you enjoy. I'd like to say thank you to my returning subscribers. Thank you for sticking by me, and thank you for any new people that have come to watch me. And if you wouldn't mind, I would like very much if you click the subscribe and like button, and yeah, let's get on with it. So I haven't been around for a while, mainly because, well, as you know, life gets in the way, doesn't it? A lot of you may know, especially if you've subscribed and watched me for a while. I used to be self-employed, but now I'm working in a private nursery looking after babies. So I tend to leave the house for about 7 in the morning. I don't tend to get back until about 6:30 in the evening. So then of course once tea's done and everything, I'm just absolutely knackered and haven't filmed. And then weekends is when I do all the things like grocery shopping, and we might go out sometimes, and sometimes to be honest, I'm just too exhausted to film, and I'd rather just sit and stitch. But I wanted to do this one for a while. I just have been, to be honest, I've just been too lazy to sort it all out and get it recorded. I was hoping to do a mid-year whip parade, but then I didn't, obviously, because to be honest, I haven't had much time to stitch. I might get an hour, maybe 2 hours in the evening to stitch, and weekends I just feel too guilty to actually sit down and do some stitching. But so yeah, so I haven't done massive amounts of stitching, and I haven't been counting my stitches or really keeping track of the days that I'm stitching. So what I will do though is I'll show you the ones that I have been working on recently. So I'll show you those. I'll show you, I've got a couple of fully finishes, a couple of FOs, a couple of FFOs, my whips, and a couple that I am planning on starting. And I think that's about it. So shall we make a start then? So I haven't undone all the zips, I'm afraid, but hopefully you don't hear too much of it. So I'm going to start off with this one. It's in the pack. Oh, it's a Winnie the Pooh kit. It's by Designer Stitches. That's what it will look like when it's finished. And I put out that I wanted to start a Winnie the Pooh Wednesday, and Kayla from Stitching with My Littlies said she was going to jump on board, so she is. And I think it's Rachel from Talking Dog Stitcher. She's on board as well, I think. But if you if you want to join us, then feel free. So it's anything Winnie the Pooh. It can be a kit, it can be a whip, it can whichever. So yeah, I started this on the 3rd of July, which is when I started with the stitch along, the SAL. There's no end date to it. We just tend to stitch it on a Wednesday, or in my case, if you don't get a chance on a Wednesday, I stitch it another day, whichever it may be. But this is what I've got done so far. I was hoping to plan to film this earlier in the day, but again, things got in the way and we were having family movie time earlier. So it's now dark outside, so you've got the overhead light, I'm afraid. 2 seconds, I'll put the other lights on. Echo, turn on lamp 4. Echo, turn on lamp 3. Echo, turn on lamp 3. And I will say, I'm not editing my video. I don't have the time to do that these days, so what you see is what you get, and if you don't like it, then I'm sorry. That's just how it is. That's how you find me. I am what I am. Anyway, that's how far I've got so far. So it's not too bad. And the piece missing here is what I'll be focusing on next time to stitch. So that is called Winnie the Pooh, no, Pooh and Eeyore Flowers for You. As I said, it's the kit, so I'm using the kit fabric, which is 16 count Aida and the stranded cotton. It doesn't say what stranded cotton it is, so I'm presuming it's just the Winnie the Pooh, like you used to be able to get years ago, was the Winnie the Pooh colours. So I am thinking of, once I've finished it, I am thinking of giving it away as a giveaway. We'll see how it goes. I'm having to use the chart. I'm not drawing on the chart, but I keep the chart in my whip bag, so it's not going to be in absolutely perfect condition because it's going to have ears, because I've not been able to see. So there's, you can't see it properly, but I'm keeping it like that, moving the picture out of the way and then going through it. I have taken a photo of it to use on Exodo or something, what it's called, but I can't print it off because my printer's decided to play up, so I'm not able to print anything off. So that's my first whip. My next whip, which I try and work on the weekends, or if I go to any retreats or anything, I work on, is Animal Panorama. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have noticed that I had a page finish, I think it was last week? No, week before last, because we'd gone to visit Chris's family up in Doncaster, so I spent the majority of my time up there stitching, and I stitched on a few pieces, but I mainly concentrated on this because I wanted to get the page finished, because it just felt like I've taken forever to finish the page finish on this. I will show you some photos. So sorry, I'm just on my tablet. So I think that might have been the last time you saw it. That's where I was last time. So I was on the Cubs. Let's try again, shall we? I'll show you, first of all, what it will look like. So that's what it looks like when it's finished. It's, as you can see, by Pain Free Crafts, and the artwork is by Adrian Chesterman. So there is a group on Facebook called Animal Panorama Sal, because there's quite a few of us doing it now. There's me doing it, there's Jenny Sharp on Facebook, she's doing it. Judy from An Aussie and a Kiwi World, she's doing it. She's doing colour across the whole piece, so she's colour completing 310 at the moment. Then there's Tania. Tania, what's your name? I just had it in my head then. Tania. Okay, so I've just checked on YouTube, and it's Tania Stitching Addicted. She's stitching it as well. Then there's Sheryl, who's the one that created the group. She's she's stitching it. So I apparently twisted her arm to go and buy it and start it before her birthday, but I think was it her birthday? She said the 8th is going to be her birthday, so yes, that's today. So yeah, happy birthday, Sheryl. Anyway, and then the other person that's stitching it is Siske Ellen, she's new to floss tube. Siske Stitches, I think it is. Sorry guys, I haven't taken many notes. So that's the only people I can think that are doing this this piece. So that's Animal Panorama. And then when my tablet decides to start playing game, I'm just waiting for it to catch up a minute. What's going on with it? It always decides to play up when I'm trying to film something, isn't it? Don't know if yours does it, but yes, mine's always like that. So I showed you what it will look like when it's finished, and this, I'll show you again, is what it looked like when I done my last floss tube update, which was in February. If I remember correctly, that's where I was. And this is where I am now. So I'm not going to show you the whole piece of the fabric, obviously. Excuse the stains, because I did put Wonder Web on it, and then the Wonder Web has come off and left some horrible yellow marking on. And when I used my my blue fabric pen to mark out the grid lines, they've disappeared, even though they're supposed to only be washable. They've disappeared and left horrible marks, so now I'm using the friction pens. So anyway, this, move back a bit, is how it's looking so far. So as you can see, I've moved over onto the next page where my little needle winder is, and I'm doing Mama Tiger's chin. It's looking fab. It is very confetti heavy, but I think I finally found my groove of stitching. So what I'm doing, I'll bring it in a bit closer so you can see it. There we go. So I'm picking the topmost empty stitch, using that colour and working through with it. So the topmost empty one here now will be that little stitch there, although you can't see it very well. And then I'm just running it through until I've run out of the thread, until the thread's finished. But yeah, so I did have it in my Q snap that way. So it's been like that and stitching in that one page, but I am thinking of turning it up like that now and then stitching those 2 pages, because where you can see that bright blue line is the page break, so there's about 5,000 stitches per page. So I'm thinking maybe stitching this page and this page, or do I just carry on doing page by page? I don't know. I'll see how I go, see what takes my fancy. But yes, I'm working it, the next empty thread, the next empty stitch, I'm working that thread until the thread runs out. Or if the next stitch of that colour is way too far away, because I only carry it the length of my needle, if it's way too far away, I'll end the thread and then just start the next stitch. So that's Animal Panorama, and I started that in 2019. But when I started it, Pattern Keeper had only just come out, and when I put it into Pattern Keeper, every time I would move the pattern, the chart, to go to the next symbol, for example, all the symbols would move as well. So I did make it made quite a big mistake, because it was getting the colours and the symbols mixed up. So I put it away then until I think it was like July 2020. I know we were definitely in COVID times. It was like lockdown sort of thing. And then I picked it up, and I've been working on it quite often ever since. So even though I started it 2019, I'm saying I started it 2020 because I've been stitching on it a lot since then. So anyway, that's that one. Then my next piece, one of the girls from Stitch Group lent me the chart. It's called Legendary Girls, and have I got, let me just try and find if I've got it. Oh, I don't seem to have it. I've got the charts piece. I got a picture of the chart, but obviously I can't show you that. Oh, dear me. So I started stitching it for Olivia. I might as well actually just show you the piece because I've got it here with me. It's one of my finishes. So there it is, Legendary Girls. So I started stitching this. Oh, sorry about the glare. Is that better? There we go, a little bit better. I dyed the fabric myself. I asked Olivia what colour fabric she wanted, so she said blue. So I dyed it myself. It's a bit mottled, but you can't see the mottling very well on screen. And then I asked her what threads, and she said just the called for. So that's what I done. I chose the called for, and I stitched it. And then a friend of mine seen it on display once I framed it. 2 seconds. Yeah. What's the matter? Don't close it too tight. It's Olivia. She's going to bed. It's bedtime for her, and I'm filming up in the bedroom because I tend to film in the conservatory, but it's raining, so you can hear the rain on the roof, and you can't hear me. Anyway, back to this. So this has been down. Oh dear, this has been down sitting on the shelf in the lounge. I think that's where it's just going to be now. And a friend of mine saw her and she said, "Oh, I like that." So I said to her, would you like one? So she said, yeah. So I said, okay. I told her to choose, I think it was 6 or 7 of her favourite colours, which she did choose. And then I picked out a few fabrics which I thought would go well with them, with the threads. And I laid them on the table and I said to her, I said, right, you choose the fabric. So I was given this fabric in a bundle from, I think it was Welsh Stitcher. She was giving it away and I won the giveaway. So this is a piece of fabric, and as you can see, I haven't done much, but that's what I've done so far. So the blue I've run out of, and I don't think there was a number. I've got a load of threads which are branded ND, but I don't know what that is, and they don't have numbers or colours with them. They've just got the little piece of paper that keeps them together, but they're on bobbins now. So I've run out of the blue, so I need to go through the stash to see if I can find more blue. But the reason I've kind of stopped stitching on this is because this is the purple. Now it's an absolutely lovely purple colour wise, but stitching wise it's a nightmare. I don't know how to explain this. I don't even know where I got this one from, to be honest, but it's a lovely shine to the purple, but to stitch it is a nightmare. So I've stopped stitching so far because I'm working on it and then it's annoying. But I will get back to it. It's quite a fun stitch and an easy stitch when you get into it. So there's one purple and there's the other purple. Can you see I don't know if you can see the sheen. There we go. See the sheen of the purple? Not very good at showing these. And then she chose a variegated blue, think this is an Anchor variegated blue. She said to me I can choose where to put them. And then I've got a yellow, lovely bright yellow, a deep fuchsia pink, is it? There's two different shades there, not very different, but they are different. And then the variegated green. Now the variegated green is obviously going to be used for the leaves, and I will just see, I'll just see how it goes as I'm stitching it. So that's that piece. Legendary Girls it's called. Really fun stitch, really quick and easy when you're not using horrible threads, that is. But the effect of the threads will look lovely once it's done. Right, my next piece is You Are My Sunshine by Stitchrovia. Again, I don't think, I thought I had all the pieces on here, all the charts, but I clearly haven't got all the, not the charts, the photos, you know what I mean. So where are my photos gone? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Sorry guys, I thought I was better prepared, but I'm clearly not. Let's see a minute. Where is it? Haha. So I can use it from this picture. So yeah. So I'm stitching all three of those, but I'm stitching the You Are My Sunshine first. So that's what it will look like. Again, I hand dyed this fabric myself. Just a 16 count, I think it is. I just found a piece of white Ada in my stash, and I just decided to do some dyeing, and that's how it is at the moment. Obviously it's as creased as anything because I don't iron it until I've finished it. So there, bring it closer, and that's how far I've got. I don't know where it was the last time you've seen it. I don't actually think I've, you can tell I'm out of practice because I'm all over the place, aren't I? There we go. So the last time I showed you it, if I got it correct, I was there, HAED basically, and now I've almost finished Shine and I've started on the Sun. The only thing I don't like about Stitchrovia's patterns is they're not symbols, they're just blocks of colour, and for someone like me who has trouble identifying the different shades of 946 and 666 in an actual pattern, it can be quite frustrating. But I think the 666 is just the heart. I don't think there's any other part that 666 is used. But that's the only thing about her chart, is they're not symbolized and they don't go into pattern keeper, so of course it's paper pattern only. So that's that one. The next one is, I've actually got the picture in the bag. Right, this one isn't undone, I'm afraid. So there we go. It's Blue Monarch Sunflower from Artecy. This was a free chart at the time. I don't know if it still is. You'll have to go and have a look, I'm afraid. So that's what it'll look like when it's finished. This is what it looked like, if I remember correctly, in February when I showed you. I was going to colour complete all the black. I started getting bored. So this and this hanging threads, because I just haven't finished them. I tend to finish my threads off and then move on, but for some reason I didn't with this. Now, it's actually bigger than I thought, but that's where I'm at now. It's looking lovely. But if I remember correctly, that butterfly has got something like 10,000 black stitches in it alone. And the most prominent colour, the colour with the most stitches, is the yellow. So one of these obviously yellows. But that's what it's looking like so far. Just not enough time in the day. Any good thing about me being self-employed before was when the children were sleeping, or when I was doing pickups or drop-offs for school and I had to wait around, I would take my stitching with. But now I don't have such a luxury time. Which, yes, in a way I'm complaining because I do miss my stitching time. But in another way, I'm not complaining because when I was self-employed, my mental health was such a state. Somebody, like a mental health nurse, she asked me that question. And I used to say no. And then she asked me that question once when I was at rock bottom. And I actually said, do you know what? If it wasn't for Liv, then probably. And that's when I knew myself. I absolutely had to get out of being self-employed. I loved the job. I loved the childminding. And I enjoyed looking after children. But it was all the other aspects to go with it. So if you're a childminder, or you know someone who's a childminder, or you've ever been that sort of profession, it's draining, especially when you're the person that's doing all the work, all the paperwork, everything. It's hard. So yes, I've cut down on my stitching time, but I'm a lot more happier in mental space as well as everything else now. So moving on to the next one is Hive rules. Now I'm doing this as a stitch along with Judy and Aussie in a Kiwi World. So I was gifted this by Tara from One Stitch at a Time. Which, Tara, I hope you're doing well, because we haven't seen anything from you for a while. So I hope you and the girls are okay. I would love to see you back. So she gifted me this. Hive rules from Primrose Cottage. That's what it will look like when it's finished. I will not be finishing it like that, but that's how the stitching will look. When I go to upload this, I'll do my best to remember and put everyone's details down below, all the different frost tubers and everything. And I'll put if you want to join in with the animal panorama, I'll put the group down below as well. And last time I was on, that's where I was with Hive rules. Not a very big start. So I started this on the 1st of January. New year, new start, like I say, with Judy from An Aussie in a Kiwi World. And I am now, I really got into stitching this and I just could not put it down for love nor money. And at one point I actually thought I'd be finishing it, but I haven't yet. But I'm trying to get it straight. I do have a board, but I haven't got it out, silly me. And that's what it's like now. That and all the creases. Isn't it beautiful? Now I'm stitching this on 16 count yellow Ada, just a piece from my stash. I absolutely love the colour yellow. And I'm going to finish it as a wall hanging once me and my sewing machine become acquainted and friends. And it's a really fun and easy stitch. I'm just basically working my way down the pattern. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of back stitch in there, but not much. And I have been thinking of going back and doing it as I go, but I'm so close to the bottom now, I'll finish it when I finish it, and I'll do this back stitch as I go. I don't mind back stitch. Don't love it, but I don't hate it either. So that's that one. So you never know, I might get another finish by the end of this year. My bed looks the right state now. The next piece was, I don't have a picture of this one. I thought I did. It's called Santa's Visit. It's from Charting Creations. It's an absolutely massive piece. And in hindsight, what I should have done was omitted the background and just use a mottled blue fabric. But I'm so far along now, I'm not restarting it. So if I get up what it will look like, Santa's Visit, that's what it will look like when these finished. Artwork is by Mark Missman and it's by Charting Creations, as I said. Now, I don't know if I've got a picture of this when I last showed you. No, I'm afraid I don't. But I'm trying to do page by page on this one as well. I'm going to work all the way across the top. For some reason I haven't drawn the lines across the top. There we go. Yeah. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. And that's what it looks like at the moment. So I'm just stitching all the blues, and every now and then there's a white coming in for the snowflakes. That's what it's looking like at the moment. Yeah, so let me fold it over a minute. So I am going to finish that page because there's some white stitches in there. You can't see them because they blend in. There we go, you can see them a bit. So I'm going to finish that page, and then I'm going to move on and finish this page. And then I'll either go down and finish this page and then that one, or I know I did say I'm going across the top, or I might go across here, but I think I'd rather have those 2 pages finished and then up here and then just work my way down. But we will see. So I stitched on that in July for Jolly July. I do that every July. Ooh, just trying to wrangle the fabric. So that's that piece. And then, oh, zip. I'm not sure if I might have worked on this piece. Tropical Friends by Charting Creations. That's what it will look like when it's finished. I absolutely love parrots, I do. This artwork is by William van der Dassen, something like that. And if I did work on it, I didn't work on it very much. There's hardly any progress on this. I don't like greens. I wish I'd had I wish what I did was get, again, a green piece of mottled fabric and then just stitch the leaves and the parrots, because the blurry green background, whoopsie-daisy, above their heads, see that, the blurry green background? That's just annoying me. But I suppose if you want it to look lovely, you've got to do the green, because that's part of the chart and that's how it looks like in the forest. So that's how it looks. Doesn't look like greens, but it is greens. That's where I'm at the moment. So put that one away. And that's all my whips for now. So I've showed you my whips. So now I'm going to show you, I've showed you the one FFO. I've done another, I have got another FFO, but I haven't got it with me because I done it for a friend. And she's got it at home for her little one. So I done that. Owl Trio by HAED. No background. So I dyed the fabric myself. A couple of, I don't even know what I really did. I just mixed orange and yellow, I think. And then I just scrunched the Ada into the paint, and that's how it came out. And then I just used the colourful colours, and then my friend chose the colour she liked for the little one's name and an alphabet that she liked, and I just stitched it. And that's now FFO'd, so it's framed as well. It's just in a normal frame. It's a certificate frame that you get from like Wilko's. So it's got no aperture, no border, no nothing. It's just literally the pane of glass and some clips that go around it. And I've written all the details on there, when I started it, when I finished it, what fabric I used, what thread I used. So that if they want to look back at it, or I want to look back at it, it's on there. But that was a really enjoyable stitch, that one was. So that's Owl Trio. And then I finished a Fractal Bookmark from Cross Stitch Studio, I want to say. Let's have a look. Fractal 50, no, Cross Stitch Collectables. Fractal 54 Bookmark from Cross Stitch Collectables. She puts out a free chart once a month. It's only available for a little while, and then you got to buy it. Anyway, I found this and I stitched that. So I'm going to make it into a wall hanging because I'm having serious trouble finding a frame to fit this. So I don't know whether to have it like that or have it like that. But those colours, what attracted me to it was those colours. I'm not a green person, but those blues, purples, pinks, yellows and oranges just drew me to it. So I just thought it'd be a fun stitch. So I did that. When did I finish that? I finished that on the 8th of May. So a while ago. But it's just not FFO'd. I don't do FFOing very often. I'd rather stitch than FFO. So there we go. That's what it looks like. So go over and check out Cross Stitch Collectables, because she's got some lovely free charts and lovely charts you can buy as well. Okay, so now there is a retreat, a day retreat on the 22nd of September. Well, Daisy's just looked at me as if to say, what are you on about, man? Come here. Oh, she's gorgeous girl. And there's a day retreat on the 22nd of September in Pendoylan, which is only about 15 minutes away from me, run by Loopy Loos. She's on Facebook. So me and one of the other girls there have said we are going to do stitch along / start along. It's Lauren from Flossabilities. It's her chart, and it's called Beach. So that's what it will look like when it's finished. Mine might look a bit different though, because I don't know what fabric I'm using yet. And we're going to use the hashtag #TheBeachSal. So if you'd love to join us, we'd love to have you joining us. again on the 22nd of September, which is 2 Sundays time. And Talking Dog Stitchery is going to be at the retreat, so I am going to actually buy the paper copy of the chart. And I can't wait. I just need to get my butt into gear and get the threads and everything sorted. I'm going to be using CXC instead of the speciality threads, because I've just got the CXC and I thought I'll just use those. And then I was on Instagram just the other day, and Darling Bluebell put up a post that she's got a birthday coming up, a big birthday, and she's got, Daisy, no love, she's got 4 charts, I think she said. Days. I don't actually have Instagram on my tablet. That's surprising. Darling Bluebell, she's got a few charts she's going to be starting for her big birthday. She's turning 40 on the 22nd as well. And one of her charts, I looked and I said, oh, I recognise that chart. I looked through my pattern keeper, and it's Vibrant Bouquets from the Cross Stitch Studio, and that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. So I said to her, I'm going to make a start with you on that day. So not only will I be starting the beach one by Lauren from Flossabilities, I'm going to be starting this one, Vibrant Bouquets from Cross Stitch Studio. So if you'd like to join that as well, I don't know if there's a hashtag at the moment, but I'll be tagging Darling Bluebells in it as well when I start it. I'm thinking of using a lilac fabric. I'll have a look through my my stash, because I don't think I want to stitch all that background, because it's a lot of pink lilacs, and I might just go straight into the flowers. See how it goes. And then Creatively has been showing in the past some of her Carolyn Manning designs, and I've liked them, but I've never really liked them to go and buy them. And then I was going through Instagram again just the other day, and I came across Tan, the monogamous stitcher. She showed a picture of her threads that she was stitching for a Carolyn Manning piece. Northern Lights, I think she's stitching. And I thought, let me take a look at Carolyn Manning. So I took a look at Carolyn Manning, and I spotted quite a few that I like. So there's 6 in my favourites, and I'm thinking of adding the Northern Lights one into my favourites. But I was talking to a girl down the Stitch Club today, Alison, and I said I'm not one for greens. So she said, how about swapping the greens out for lilacs or purples? So I thought that's a good idea. So I might do that in future. But anyway, going back onto Carolyn Manning, I went on her website and I found Shooting Star. Absolutely gorgeous colours. So I thought, why not? So I got that one. And then a flutter of jellyfish. And it says that a group of jellyfish is called a flutter. So you buy this and you get the main one, and then you get all those as well. But I quite like the main one, so I'm going to be stitching that in time as well. And I love the blues, the pinks, the purples. And then on that one, I know there's greens, but there's not that much green, and I like the yellows and the oranges. So I don't know when I'm going to be starting those. Again, I need to get my butt into gear and get all the fabrics ready. So I'll be doing those. And then a few months ago, I've been ever so lucky to have kind friends, because one of the girls was, I'll take it out of the Polly Pocket. she was stitching this. She goes to our Sunday retreat, Teresa, and I said, I've seen it on Creative Leaves floss tube and I absolutely loved it. And I said to her, oh, that looks lovely, I'd love to stitch it. Well, then she went and gifted me it. So I've now got this. So I'm going to, again, dig out some fabric and I might start it. I don't know when, but I'm in the mood to start everything. It does get my stress levels up and anxiety up when I've got all these pieces that I'm not stitching on. But then at the same time I think to myself, I've got them all. If I've got the fabric in stash and I've got all the floss, why not? And then last time I filmed, I did use the Tiny Decisions app, the little wheel spinner thing, to choose what I was stitching on screen. But I felt tied into having to do those. So I thought what I'll do now is, if I don't know what to stitch on, or if I'm not stitching on, for example, my Winnie the Pooh Wednesday or my Animal Panorama on my weekends, I will pick out, I'll use the Tiny Decisions app and I will see what I'm going to stitch on. And hopefully that way, if I come home at night and I think, oh, I can't be bothered getting my stitching up, I'll go on there and it might just pick something out for me. And then I won't stitch on that again until I've stitched on all the others as well. We'll see. Things change. I'm allowed to change my mind. But I think that is it. So we're now at 46 minutes, which is really long for me. And I didn't expect it to be this long. So I'm going to love and leave you. And I'm going to say, again, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. And enjoy your stitching, and hopefully I'll be back sooner than I was this time. Take care, everyone. Bye.